If I were to ask you, what do you think is the deadliest tier 10 in World of Tanks Blitz? I'm pretty sure the majority of you would either say the FE4005 or the FE215B183. For very simple reasons. The 4005 can deal 1600 damage in a matter of just 4 seconds if it's using shell reload boost, which is actually mind-blowing when you think about it. And the FE215B183 can technically deal 1300 damage in 0.1 seconds, depending on how long it takes your shell to reach your opponent. It's pretty dang insane. Both of these vehicles are incredibly deadly in their own ways. Unfortunately, when it comes to the majority of situations, neither tank is incredibly skilled at winning. Like, sure, there are certain games that the 183 can absolutely get crazy damage numbers out, but you still end up losing. I remember last week I was live streaming, did 7k in the 183, still lost, because you're trying to only go for damage in the tank, and you're heshing everybody that has health while ignoring the low health opponents. And what actually ends up happening is those low health players then end up catching up to you and killing you after the rest of your team is dead. That's a similar case for the FE4005. It has incredibly large profile going for it with very little armor. And when you add those two things together, it's a very easy target, especially for mobile tanks to pick apart. However, in today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the TVP 5051, a tier 10 Czechoslovakian auto-loading medium, a vehicle that features 4 shells and is able to deal 1240 potential damage in 4.5 seconds. That is without even using shell reload boost, which the tank doesn't get. 4.5 seconds over like 60%, 70% of your medium tank is gone. It's actually insane and completely diabolical when you think about it. The craziest part is the TVP doesn't feature downsides of damage per minute, sitting upwards of 2,700. It has a top speed of 60 and a reverse of 20. It has armor that is actually quite good when you're using the 8 degrees of gun depression, and a mantlet that is nearly impossible to pen if your shell doesn't go where you want it to. All of these factors create one of the most overpowered and toxic tier 10s in the game. So, why not watch a replay of this tier 10? Brought to you by Olympia, is what we're going to call him. This player is from the Vexed clan, and he is about to get the freest farm you have ever seen. And he's going to showcase just why the TVP is an absolutely busted tank. Next update, Wargaming will be nerfing this vehicle, and it's going to be nerfed quite hard. I don't think it's going to be destroyed. They're actually buffing its DPM slightly, but they're taking away its clipping potential. It's going to go from a 4.5 second burst to a 5.64 second burst. That is quite a bit longer. Now, to be fair, that's still very short. If you catch somebody out in the open, you will still very easily track them, and they're going to bleed a lot. But it is going to hurt the tank. It's also losing a bit of accuracy, a teeny bit of power to weight. The tank overall is definitely getting worse, but I think it's for the better, especially because of how dang toxic this vehicle is. Up against us, we can see there is literally nothing. I mean, Olympia here is looking at the enemy lineup, and if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 6 tanks already. There are 7. That is the entire enemy team. So, a little bit of weird pathing, I'm not going to lie, but my guess is Olympia doesn't want to get spotted by anything. He doesn't want that 57 heavy to possibly spot him. He doesn't want anything to spot him, and he's going to try and sneakily get behind this Tortoise. Because this tank deals damage so fast, this Tortoise doesn't even have the opportunity to do anything. He tried leaving, yeah, that's not going to happen. 948 hit points taken right off of that vehicle, and just like that, the poor Tortoise literally had no clue what was going on until it was all too late. But in another 10 seconds, 1240 damage is once again going to be loaded into the barrel of the TVP, and he's got his eyes set on another target. 2 massive E100s stuck out in the open. Well, let's farm this poor E100. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1300 damage in that second clip. Just like that. in a matter of, what, 8 seconds combined, 9 seconds combined of bursting damage, this tank has been able to deal 2,200 damage, which is absolutely insane. This T-57 Heavy on the enemy team is pretty oblivious to what's going on, not even noticing the TVP roll behind. This TVP player is smart and loads an HE shell, dealing, oh my god, 1,650 damage with the third clip, dealing now 4,268. But that's only a fraction of the damage we're going to see in total of this battle. In fact, that is only half of the damage we're going to witness performed in this game. So let's keep on watching. TVP is going to activate Speed Boost, and I personally don't even run Speed Boost on mine or any autoloaders at that, down to the fact that I just like having a med kit. I feel like it's really important to have one. I like the decision there to go for the FE2 and 5B 183, but at this point, I do think Olympia makes a pretty big mistake here. He's in a 1 versus 4 situation. He knows the T-57 Heavy is a one-shot. The problem is, he keeps this one shell thinking that he's going to finish him off, instead of just reloading the clip. At this point in time, this TVP would have had an entire clip reloaded if Olympia had just reloaded the clip. And if he had driven away, the 57 wouldn't have spotted him. He could have dealt with him later. So I don't really think staying there, waiting, was a good decision. I think leaving like he's doing now, reloading his clip, and not allowing the enemy team to know where he is and catch up to him in their slower heavies is a good idea. Especially, we can see their lineup. They're all slow. They got a one-shot 57 Heavy, an E100, which we know is at least half health from the clip we witnessed, and, well, there you go. We got the E100 spotted. We got the E75 spotted. Now, at this point, I would keep moving, because obviously you can't shoot those guys frontally. You're not going to be able to pen them, and even if you do, you don't know where the other tanks are. Right now, the best decision that this player can make is to leave, but uh-oh, we have ran directly in front of an E100. Olympia pens all 4 shells right into the lower plate for 1,250, activates his speed boost, and he's getting the flock out of here. I don't blame him. He just absolutely violated that tier 10 German super heavy. Imagine having 640 damage per shot and thinking, yeah, my tank hits hard, and then some little dinky medium rolls around the corner and trades you for 1,250. Now the C100 makes a fatal flaw. Drives out into the open, exposing his entire lower plate to the TVP and getting a free clip in. Not only that, but in the process, the E100 misses the entire exposed rear of the TVP. So now we've got E100 number 2, who we hear shoot. It's actually a bit surprising to me to see this TVP player driving off of the ledge when, as I did say, we heard the E100 shoot. So at this moment, it's a little weird, but at the same time, it's not the end of the world, because this guy just got his clip loaded, so Olympia's actually in a pretty good situation here. Plus, this E100 jumps off, allowing Olympia to get 1 free pen in. But look at the base cap. It's at 904. Olympia does make the correct decision here. He has to go. He doesn't have a choice. He gets unlucky with his 1 shell, but manages to pen the next. At this point, he's got 593 hit points against an E75 and a T57 Heavy, with 912 on the base cap. But the good news is this is a TVP. It's one of the most mobile vehicles in the game. So all this player needs to do is drive over to base D, and guess what? He can basically guarantee that he'll have a much higher chance of winning. Not guaranteed, because that 57 Heavy, while may not be the brightest bulb, just needs to get 1 bounce from this TVP to be able to finish him off with a 2-shell clip. So it doesn't really require that much skill to get a kill with the 57. But, uh-oh, that's not good. The E75 went AFK. This player must have thought, oh, the game's over. I'm not going to bother, and I'm just going to, continue going on my day. Now, this TVP is smart on not shooting the final shell, but at the same time, I would have just shot it and backed up. I mean, sure, the 57 Heavy might jump on you, but he's got 20 health. If he tries to jump, he dies. Either way, there's no way he's going to kill you. So I definitely think the smartest decision at this point would have just been to clip the E75, finish him off, because you don't know if that E75 is ever going to randomly come back. Just because he's away right now doesn't mean he's going to be like, well, my cup of tea's back, I'm ready to play. And he's like, oh crap, my team sucks. And then he comes back and HEs you in the butt. So that's something you should always keep in mind. But it looks like No joke, the T-57 Heavy jumps off the cliff, which we can see if we slowly make our way over here. Yes, the 57 Heavy jumps off, possibly to capture the base, and because of that, he dies. Now, obviously, he was gonna die. As I said just a moment ago, the dude had like 28 health. Obviously, you can't make that jump and survive. But he tried. I'll give him credit. He tried. At the end of the day, this TVP got an absolutely amazing farm of 9,326 damage. Congratulations, Olympia Blade, for an insane battle. Now, to be fair, this was a very easy game, which more cynical people will probably be quick to point out in the comments rather than congratulating somebody on something that they've achieved. But even if these were easy opponents to deal with, it doesn't take away from the fact that Olympia correctly dismantled the situation, did not seem to overstress it and make misplays. Olympia knew that the 57 Heavy was a problem and didn't shoot his shell, his final one, into the E75 because he thought that 57 was going to try and jump down or try and shoot him in some way. So the thinking and the overall process of this game is smart. You knew to shoot HE into the rear of the 57 Heavy, so you are obviously a knowledgeable player. This was a very impressive achievement. I've only had, I think, like 2 9Ks in my 80-something thousand battles of Blitz. It's just one of those moments you have to get the right place and the right time to happen, and that's obviously what happened here. Now, obviously, both of those E100s took a terrible approach at that situation. If you are ever in a scenario, and let's say you're on the enemy team, and you see a player like Olympia in a TVP, the worst thing you can ever do is split up and try to catch this player. Even if you have more health, it's a super deadly tank that's much more mobile than you, and if you're alone, that is exactly what a ferocious tank like the TVP wants. It will take advantage of you. If those E100s had simply captured bases and then held on town, they guaranteed would have won. There's no way Olympia could have been able to win due to the aggressive amount of base cap that would have been placed against him. But the E100s made their major mistake of driving out of cover, and it gave Olympia a win. So congratulations, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you'd like to see more like this, let me know in the comments. Bye-bye.